But cool. So that gets closed. And so what we're going to do is go from completely blank slate and set up a project and do some code. And I think the first thing that we're going to do, okay, so the objectives here. Can I make this big? Can I make my font bigger? Yeah, I can. So objectives. One. We can display an index page. Two. We can display a list of players. Three, which is a stretch. We can add and remove a list of from the list of players. So say objectives for session, and we'll say overview is so the things we're going to do is set up project. Well, yeah, set up project. Actually, no, maybe this section just kind of sucks. Let's just keep it like this. So if we get these three things done, like now, like today, that will be good. And yeah, okay. So to do these things, like, yeah, what I guess that's what I was trying to do with the overview is like the steps of these things, right? Is one, we need to set up a basic Go project using Golang, just because I think you should use this IDE as well, and then we're kind of standardized over the thing, you know. And if you have any questions about using like the IDE, then I can help you because I know it, you know. And it's free, I think, so you don't have to worry about paying money for it. But if it isn't, then we'll figure that out. But maybe have a look at the JetBrains website. JetBrains Goland. And it's going to be Go 123.1, I think. Let's just say 123.x, whatever it is right now, which is the newest version. It came out about 4 weeks ago. It went into like main, what's it called? RC, release candidate, no, GA, sorry, generally accepted. So now it's like the main version of Go is 123. So, two, we're gonna import temple, set up basic index dot temple. Actually, sorry, it's going to be, let's make this 3 and 4. So, because 2, we're going to create basic web server with standard lib HTTP, import temple, set up temple. And I'll stop doing the steps for there, because I think that's like a good place where we're going to like have a very basic project and we can start doing some more interesting stuff. But yeah, so this is basically like how we're gonna, the steps here is basically how we're gonna do objective number 1 for the session. So maybe I should just put that for posterity. Steps for number 1. There we go. Does that all make sense? Do you have any questions?
Yes, makes sense. I will be installing Goland.
Okay. Cool. Good. Okay. So I guess to not beat around the bush very much and just kind of get on with things, I will, I guess, explain my tooling a little bit before we get going, and then we'll just jump in and get going. Like, because so I used the WSL for Linux. And so my terminal. Wait, do I have? I didn't install WesTerm on this, did I? No, I don't. Sorry. So even though I'm using a Windows computer, I'm actually executing all this stuff on Linux because I've got a Linux computer living inside of my Windows. So this would be our terminal. Even though Goland has a terminal inside of it, and then to set a project up, I'm using this WSL thing, which will be different if you just use like Windows normally, like, you know, Goland on Windows normally, which is better for your resources. It's more it's easier to run that way. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You won't click this WSL thing. You'll just be like projects, new project, right? But for this, I am going to set it up just slightly differently because I need to do that. So next, deploy the worker program to an instance and prepare the IDE for it. So next. Cool. IDE will be downloaded, yes. So basically, yeah. I start an IDE in my Linux thing. That's what this thing is doing here. Oh, project directory. Okay. Sure. So where do I put my stuff? And we called this. Okay, let's just go here. And then I'm going to be present working directory. So like this. Copy, paste, like so. And we wanted to call it hextech. Hextech. Oh, is it like? Does it have to be an existing path? Let's just say hextech. Oh, it has to be an existing thing. Okay, that's fine. I probably should have done this on my Mac. It's a little bit more straightforward, but it's okay. Okay, cool. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, my bad. Okay. So what we want to do is actually just make the thing. So make directory, which is going to be called hextech challenge. You won't have to do this bit because you're, oh, sorry, and here, because you're just going to pull the repo. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then what I want to actually do is be like open this here. That's through this window. Oh no, but it's not going to have. Okay, sorry, one sec. Okay, project. This here, like that. Create this window. Is that going to do it? Yes. Okay. Cool. Um, yeah. So a Go project is pretty straightforward. It doesn't really have a lot like going on to start off with it. You just kind of get this Go mod file, and that's where like all your dependencies like go. And I'm certain that you've probably seen that before, because I know that
Mm-hmm.
you've like made a thingy. Um, in Go. So
Sure.
what we want to do is be like new Go file, and we're just going to call this guy main. It's just be a simple application. Cool. So at the root of every single Go project, there is a file called main.go, which is just the convention, and that is always in the package called main. And then one other kind of Go thing that happens is if you put a function called main in a Go file, the compiler will allow you to exec it. And so that's represented here. Like when I run by my IDE understanding that I can run this, it's not going to do anything. It just exits 0, which just means that no error occurred. But we could be like format.print. Sorry, no, I want to be print. But then, yeah, hello, Holden. There you go. See, so this is like the very core of the programming language. Like this is where the entry point is to your code base for every single Go project that you're going to do. It'll either be in in the root directory of the project that you're working in, or sometimes Go programmers will put it in like a directory called command, because of boring reasons, but that's where it is sometimes. So yeah, to get back to 1 second, actually, I'm just gonna quickly make myself a coffee and just top my water up.
Okay.
If you want to, you're no, actually, don't worry. I'll just be back in like a minute.
Nice. Huge.
That's good, yeah. So I wasn't getting like sleepy. I was getting like weirdly like lightheaded. So I just needed to like stand up and just like stretch my legs, move around, get a coffee and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, sorry, one second. I'm going to grab my glass of water.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, let's not do everything in one go when we stand up and go away from the desk. Yeah, that would be stupid, dude. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's not efficient at all. You know, let's be real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Why do things in one trip when you can do them in two?
Two is a bigger number than one after all, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you want to be taking a number two on these fucking moves, you know? So you can't like do that.
Yeah, and put that one in the recording, dude. That's a really important lesson.
Yeah, real. For anybody watching this in the future, remember to take a number two on your haters, you know?
Big.
Massive. So, cool. So, right, what I really like about Go is that it's what sometimes people call a batteries included language, in so much that without too much else, other than the standard library, you can kind of create most programs that you're gonna want. And that's anything from like a video game to a web service of some description to a thing that can, I don't know, like do algorithmic, like, you know, arithmetic and stuff, or like doing, you know, transactions and things like that. So it's good general purpose language, but it also comes with quite like a big standard library. And so why am I telling you this? Because what we're going to use pretty much a lot for this lesson, like we're actually not going to write tons of Go, just to let you know. Like you like I know that like we're going kind of Go first into this, but going back to this, right? To get up
Yeah.
to one, we need to be able to create a basic web server, right? So we've done this. I'm just going to put a little an X next to the things that we've done, and we can just. Is there a nicer character for that? Do something like this. Do something like this. There we go. Give it one of them. How about we do it this side of shit so it looks like we know what we're doing. Okay, cool. So, so to recap, right? To set up a basic Go project, just say new project in Goland and pick a directory, and the IDE will do the rest of it for you, right? It's going to make your Go mod file, and then the first thing that you do is you make a main.go, and you put a main function in it, and from there the world is your oyster, right? So that's all you need to do to get up and running. The next thing that we're going to do is serve ourselves. Give the ability to serve ourselves some shit, right? And so what do you serve yourself something with? A server. And luckily we don't have to write a server from scratch. The standard library has one in, and so that's why I say batteries included. And that's one of the things that I very much respect about Golang, the language itself, is that this that we're about to use here, even though it is the basic, like the most basic thing, and we're about to write 4 to 5 lines of code, this web server is good enough to deploy to production. I would use this in a transactional environment doing thousands of transactions a second. So it's really good quality. It's really like well-written shit, and it's very performant. So yeah, we're just going to kind of crack on. And so it's pretty straightforward. What you say is, we're going to get rid of this. You say HTTP handle. So you can... Don't know what is up with Nelson. I might have to take him out in a second. But I did just come back from a fairly long walk, so he should be okay. But it doesn't matter. Okay. So... yeah. And then... Yeah. Sorry, I was just distracted by dog. So in here...
Is that comma or period, comma or after the slash?
It's a comma, yeah. It's a comma. It'll be,
Um,
yeah. There you go.
okay.
See, like so like Java and Python and stuff. When you pass commas, when you pass arguments to like a method or a function, you use commas to separate them up, right? So this is argument 0. This is argument 1.
I
Uh,
yow.
and so what we're going to say is we're just going to say this for now. And then is that going to... No. So what I'm going to have to do... Okay. So there's a couple of different ways of installing... there we go. Installing things in Go. But I found this to be the fastest way to do it when I'm working inside of Go land inside of this IDE, right? Is sometimes when you... so if I just get rid of that, right? You can just type out what, like, maybe you're like looking at an example on the internet. Let's just say we go to the actual temple.guide here like this, and we go here and we go to installation. Sometimes you get a command where it's like this, yeah? Like where you go and you open up your IDE, you open up your terminal, and then you type go, what is it? Go install, well, let's just copy it. So this, like this. I'm not actually
So
going
that's
to
one way
execute.
to do temple. This is one way
Yeah,
to do temple, but the import to a dash h temple is the other way. You're
yeah.
just doing the same thing.
Yeah, so I like to stick it. I just like to stick it in here, and then go land. The IDE will get red, go mad, be pissed off with me, and then it just says fix missing dependencies, and you hit enter, and then it like runs a little thing, and then it goes green, and then now and you'll know that it's worked, right? Firstly, because your little temple thing goes red, but then now you can be like this or like handler. What was the thing that I was using before? Whoops. Oh, mad at me for some reason. There we go. Go like that.
Yeah, me
And
too.
then
Pissed.
there we go. Cool. Awesome. So this is still going to be pissed. So I'm just going to say like nil. Will it let me pass nil for the time being? Okay. So
Sure.
we're gonna put a fix me. You're gonna see why we're doing this in. So fix me is like a quote that will. This is just an IDE specific thing. This is not anything to do with Go. But I like to use fix me's because you can jump around to them later, and I'll show you that in a bit. But not important
Ooh.
now. So so dog, are you okay? Are you all right, bud? Okay, we'll just try and get through this bit without him, like... Okay, so, what I want to do is, for myself, when we boot up, I want to be, like... Actually, no, I'm going to, again, print lin, and just be, like, starting server on localhost 8080. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make this so no, come on, dude. So this is how you do string formatting in Go. We're gonna say so this is saying you use printf, which is print format. And then obviously this is just a normal string, and then this directive here, this modulo d says
Yeah.
like whatever I pass in here is going to be a number, is going to be like an int, so print that as an int. And so what we're going to do is up here, actually sorry, I don't want to separate these up. Okay, so I'm gonna get this next bit out of the way quickly, and then I'm gonna take Nelson out, because otherwise it's just gonna like annoy me enough that it's gonna like throw me off,
True.
So port actually. So Go is interesting because this is not an assignment, and this is actually in a compiler error. Like, so you're used to this.
A what?
I'm used to, yeah, like
A
this.
declare?
Sorry, a compiler error.
Oh,
So, but this is
oh.
not a this is not a declaration. Like this is a declaration, which is weird to me. So the colon equals assigns the value 8080 to this variable here, and it's still red because you can't have an unused variable in Golang, right? So
Mhm, mhm.
you have to do that. So to show you that working, okay, cool, good. We're just going to comment out any of the HTTP code, and we're just going to run this like this, and now you can see that it prints localhost on 8080, right? So this trick, we're going to be doing shit fucking tons of this trick and things that look like it because it's super useful for logging and, well, just your fucking everyday run-of-the-mill, everything that you need to kind of do with strings is you're gonna use printf a lot or sprintf, which which is it the version that returns a value instead of just printing it to the screen. Anyway, sorry, I was just reading my notes there for a second. So now we've got this temple handler thing, and we've told our HTTP library that we want to handle it, which is cool. The next thing that we want to do is be like listen and serve. So we will just tell the HTTP library that we want it to listen on our port, which is 8080, and we're going to use nil here because the second argument that you pass in is handler. We're just using this default handler that comes part of the library, and I don't really want to talk about that too much right now, but this is just going to be nil. 1 second, why is that? Oh, it wants to be a string, does it? Okay. Oh, that's fine.
I zoned out. Did I
No,
miss anything
no,
last
you
30
didn't.
seconds?
No, you didn't. So basically, right. Okay, Nelson, we're gonna go out, mate. Seriously, I'd take you out for like a fucking hour-long walk. Okay, so right. So the um, the final bit that I'm kind of gonna go over here before I just take him out for like a 10-minute walk. And I really don't want to take him out for a walk, but it's just going to annoy the shite out of me.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Is
Don't worry about it.
cool. So this method has just turned yellow in my IDE, and that is because if you mouse over it, it's going to tell you that we haven't unhandled error. So we have an unhandled error, and that means that well, it'll give us this,
Oh, I see.
and it'll give us this little like setup, right? So Go does not have exceptions. You've used Python before, right?
Hmm.
You know what?
Exceptions
Do you know how? Have you seen exceptions in that language? Do you know what I mean when I say
it
exceptions?
is like you run some function, and if it has an error, it continues for the specific error or something. You tell it to. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I get what you're saying. So yes, in Python you have try and catch,
Catch.
right?
Yeah. Right.
And that means that you can like handle an exception in a specific way in your function, right? Like, so if some code throws that exception in your try block, then you can catch it and like do something with it, right?
Oh, are they not also called errors in Python? That's like the object is called exception in Python.
Yeah,
Is it?
exception. Yeah, so the errors are a sub. Uh, Errors are the more broad. Sorry, is the more broad term, right? Like in computing, an error could be like. There is a class in Python called error, but like an exception is like a different is like a very specific style of dealing with errors. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so Go does not have exceptions. It has errors that are returned as values. And so that means that you're going to have to do basically, right? Like to figure out if something happened that was good or bad, you're going to return on like a bad thing, on an error happening in your function. You're going to return. Oh my god, Nelson, fuck off, dog.
He's gonna shit on your floor, dude.
I know, I know, I know. It's all right. I'm just gonna take him out. Like,
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
come
we can call
on.
it now. Or call it break now. Cool. GG. I'll be here when you get back. My I downloaded GoLand and it said it required the system restart for it to finish setting up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while you do your thing. So I'll be back. Bonjour. 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 She dawn on my boat until I stairway to heaven. She She AC on my DC till I thunderstruck. Jet brains. Courier bold 12 grip. Yeah. Yeah. So fucking cool, dude. Oh, I'm gonna reboot again. GG. Welcome back. Uh, yeah, that's good stuff, dude. No. Gangnam Style.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. Dumb. You there?
Hey. Can you help me with something real quick? I don't
Sure.
know. If I share my screen, maybe
Yeah,
it's
go for it, go for it.
screen. Okay, so I have GoLand, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wanted to do WSL like you do, but
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
this
you don't have, yeah, you don't have. So go back.
and I have Gateway now too.
1 second. So go back. Just do, wait, can you just click on projects, the thing on the left above? Just do new project. Yeah, cool. And then, yeah, that's fine. Wait, no, change the location. You see at the top? Don't call it awesome project, just call it something else.
Rules.
Anus. Woo, cool. Then click create. Awesome.
Nice. I'm really making some progress tonight.
Cool. So you can delete. Oh, it made you a main. That's great. So just delete all the stuff in the function main. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, package main. Then I'll teach you a little trick. If you delete
Yeah.
that. No. Package main. Yeah. Okay. Go down 2 lines. Just press enter. Then type main and press tab.
Oh man, that's good.
So cool. That's how. And then yeah, like that. And then it will just import format for you. So I guess my little tip there is just abuse the IDE or use the IDE in your favor by like typing out what you want and then getting it to do the import for you. You know.
But what about the WSL thing? What about that?
So Windows subsystem for Linux it's complicated and you don't need it. The thing is,
I
right?
need
Like
it.
if you
Yeah.
no, you don't need it. Like what I like, see this terminal here. If you look at my screen, am I still streaming? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you see this terminal here. Oh,
Hmm.
sorry. Let me close that so we don't like this file system that we're in. This is a Linux. This is like a Linux computer that's like hosted inside like a virtual machine inside of my Windows machine, and that
Yeah.
essentially is what WSL is. Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is basically so what I have. You see the way that my terminal is all super duper fancy and I've got like all these aliases and everything's like colorful and stuff, right? That's because all my tools and shit I use on a Mac, I can use inside of this WSL thing. And so that's why I set my computer up to work like that. But it's not like a requirement. It's just a thing. It's just a complicated thing that I prefer to do. You don't need that because everything that you need, like a terminal, for example, you have. Wait, how do I? But it was just 5. No, 4. Basically, in here somewhere, you have a terminal as well. You can be like, 1 sec. Alt F12 apparently is the command, but you can be like that, right? And that'll open up a terminal for you that you can do all manner of shit in, etc. But you know you don't. That's not what we're doing right now. If that makes any
Okay.
sense, you know. So for
Yeah.
all the stuff that you need for this, you can do with GoLand. You don't need anything else. Cool.
Cool.
So back to our lesson and let's get on to a thing where we're actually like doing some fucking like some index stuff. And now I don't have any distractions either. So yeah, so what we're going to do is in here we're going to be like panic there was an error serving HTTP. But what I like, right, is that there's actually a shorthand for this that I think looks a lot more pretty, where you're like log fatal, and then instead of like having to get the error out and like do your own thing with it, because you always know that you're going to be like panic exits the program, right? Like that's like that like shuts your program down completely. So if you write like panic, let's put it here. Already my IDE is complaining that these are unreachable. That's why they've gone yellow. Panic is like, fuck you. And so if we run this, we should just see the... Well, actually, yeah, there we go, right? So it'll give you, it'll throw something that looks a bit like an exception in another language, where it will be like, look, in your running program in the function main in main, line 15 we hit a panic and the program exited 2, which means that like something bad happens. This like this means bad. So what log fatal does for me is if this returns an error, this will throw the panic for me, and then I end up with this lovely thing where I only have 4 lines of code for now running. Wait, hold on, missing port in. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, cool. So in Go there's a shorthand. You don't just pass it the port number. I think you give the address like this, and that makes it. There we go. Okay, cool. So if you do colon 8080 is just the same as localhost 8080, and I'll show you that. So if you do this, you get exactly the same result, starting server on localhost 8080. It's just like this is a shorthand, and I'll again show you that. Restarting. Now the log line says something different. It doesn't say localhost because it's not in there, but the web server is still doing the same thing, right? And cool. So now I'd be interested to see what happens here, because to step through this code line by line again. So we declare that we're gonna have our port be the number 8080. We tell HTTP library that we want to handle some temple stuff, but in here we've passed nil. Okay, so this is not going to work. Nothing's going to come back because there's no component in here to serve back. So yeah, let's just do it with comments. So declare port number, tell HTTP standard, let's just call it HTTP, you know what I mean. Tell HTTP to handle some temple stuff. Print programmer that we are going to kick off the web server. Kick off the web server and log and panic if we die. Cool. So yeah, that's what this code does, and I think we're gonna just go and see what happens. So this should be working fully if we go to localhost. Awesome. Okay, cool. What you'll notice is, even though we got an error, you'll notice that our program actually did some shit, right? Like it like something happened, and yeah, so cool. This is fucking cool. Right, so what happened was, you know, I said this log fatal thing just throws the panic for us whenever something bad happens. We hit a null pointer because this here is null. And I can tell you that I know that because it says runtime error, invalid memory address or nil pointer dereference, line, go routine 20. Oh, okay, that's just the specific go routine that like threw it. But yeah, effectively, this just means that our little like panic thing here and all this sort of stuff is like working. So now let's fix this bug and actually serve some shit. And so, yeah. What I have found is the nicest way to organize my code is I want to make a subdirectory for the thing that I want to serve. And in here, so I call it index. And then in here, Go temple has its own specific file extension called .temple, like this. And in here, it looks kind of like a normal Go file, but as you've probably seen by looking at that Goth stack video, and I think you fucked around with it yourself, right? Like you don't use, well, no, you don't use functions. You use this temple command, and then I'm just going to call it index page. And at the moment, it's not going to accept any arguments, right? Like we can pass stuff in here to our template, and I'm going to show you that probably today. But this is really super duper powerful because it just means that you can pass anything from your Go code, so anything from a database, anything from an API call, anything from a whatever, into your HTML template and have that be displayed to your user. And it's so that is a very quick way of like getting data and doing some shit with it. And so I just want to see really quickly if do I have plugin on the client? Do I have temple? Maybe it doesn't exist on this. Okay, I might actually switch over to my MacBook if this sucks. It also might not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just go with it. So yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to put inside of this thing effectively just some HTML, right? And we're going to serve that to ourselves, and so that we can be sure that the HTML that we serve doesn't matter, and I haven't thought about it. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give it to me. So I'm going to be like, please give me some HTML with a title and a table of players with the fields, name, age, team, yeah, let's just call it MMR, choose a match, making, rank, team, and created at a table of players. What else? Sorry, so I'm just trying to think what else I want it to give me so I don't have to type this shit out myself. That's fine. That'll do. Cool.
Nice HTML code.
Beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted it to do. I've asked it kind of a similar question before, and so I'm really pleased that it's given me something that is close to what I thought it would be. So maybe I already have this temple thing already installed because it's already given me the syntax highlighting like what I want here. So I think I might have installed this and just I was looking at the wrong screen. So cool. Right. So
the John Doe with 2500 MMR. What a beast, dude.
What a beast.
2300 MMR.
James Smith fucking skull crushing these noobs at 27.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, okay, so cool. Like, obviously, you know, my intention of like using ChatGPT there was I didn't want to sit here and write all of this and distract ourselves from what the real lesson is going to be. But like, we're going to step through really quickly what this HTML does, and then we're just going to move on. So, telling the web browser that it is HTML and that the language is English. Every valid HTML document has a head and a body. Inside the head is usually stuff that you don't display, and it does stuff like load scripts for you, get assets for you from other locations. You can put style in there, so you can embed HTML, and it has other metadata like what your favicon is and what your title is and some other shit. Okay, the body is the stuff that people will see. Basically, that's going to be the HTML that you will spend the most time writing, and your users will spend the most time interacting with. Cool. So, yeah. So this is really basic HTML at the moment, and you'll notice that we're not passing any values into this. We're not templating this at all. So we're not using one of the really core features of Temple yet. But what we're going to do is, now that we've got this file, I'm going to show you how you turn this Temple file into something that you can use, and then we're going to display it on the screen. Which I think, if we have a look at our... yeah, okay, so...
Ooh, have we done number 2 already?
We've definitely done number 2, and I think, to be honest with you, I think this is kind of a bullshit one. So I think we're just going to say 3, right? We're just going to be like 3... set up basic index.temple. This is actually going tons faster, so we're gonna go and do probably 2 today as well. So yeah, okay. Step number 3. So we're gonna set up a basic index.temple.
True.
And so the steps, like, now we're not going to do more steps. So basically, right, what I'm going to do is we're going to display this stuff first, and then we're going to be like, we're going to pass some values, some, you know, so some shit in here, and then we're going to use the templating language to change the title and maybe some other stuff as well, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the step after the one that we're about to take. So the whole thing that Temple does is you can create components that render fragments of HTML, and then you can compose them up with these like Temple things into screens, pages, documents, and all that sort of stuff. What happens is, here we go. I want to see the core concepts thing. I just want to see if they've got a... They do have a really good example of what I want to show you here, but I'm just trying to get to where I want to be. Creating a simple... Yeah. Okay, cool. So here is what we've done. So inside of our temple file, our index.temple, we've created some HTML inside of a temple, right? Like this is, we've done a bigger version of what this is doing here. Now what we need to do is generate the code. So what's going to happen, right, is because we need to fill this nil value with something. And obviously this code here is all Go, right? Like, we need to have some Go code to be able to put in this slot. So what Temple does under the hood is it takes this shit and it turns it into a Go class, a Go object that you can use in your code. And it does that by using this handy dandy generate command, which I should have everything already installed. So it should just be, okay, no, I don't. So we're gonna just quickly, pinch the command here. I don't know why that's not on my path, but it's possible. Cool. So now we've got the command. We've got temple.generate, and it will tell me that we've made one update, and the duration took 1.1 milliseconds. We don't really care about that bit, right? So what's cool about that is now my IDE is showing me, because I've got the extension installed, it will show me that I've got this like little drop down thing. But if you look at it at a normal terminal, like just a normal file system, right? If we go and have a look in our index directory, now we've got 2 files, right? We've got our normal index.temple, the thing that we've been working on, this thing that's got our table in it, right? You know, with John Doe and Jane Smith and all that sort of shit. But now we've got this new file, this index.temple index underscore temple.go. So you can see by the extension that this is Go code, right? This is a Go file. And in here, this incredibly fucking unreadable shit is the machine code that's been generated from our template.
Yeah.
So what's pretty badass about this, right, is now in here, so we can be like hextech. Right, okay. So you can import your own code as well. This is how like submodules and stuff works. So this index directory here is a submodule. And Go is clever enough to know that because this top module here is called hextech challenge, when I go into this import statement here and I go hextech challenge, and I mean my IDE already knows what I'm trying to do, so I'm just going to do that, right? Like it goes red because it's unused, but now here's the cool shit, right? So I've imported my index package. It's got some code inside it called index page, right? And that index page code is this function here that's been generated by our template here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of steps there, but I think what is going to happen, hopefully is going to happen now, we run our code. You remember last time we got like this, where was it? So get rid of that. We went to 8080 and we got this big long error here, right? And we got like nothing displayed to the web browser. Now what's going to happen, hopefully, if I haven't fucked something up, is we get some HTML back, right? With John Doe, Jane Smith,
Ooh, very nice.
age. Do you see what I mean? So.
Yeah.
So what happened was, right, just to go through the process again, we wrote some HTML in this template. We went to our terminal and we did temple.generate, and then that spat out another file for us. And then in here, we just ran our code because, you know, now we've got something to put in our temple handler. And when we run that, now Go knows how to print that to the screen. And what's even cooler about this, right, is if we give ourselves a bit of breathing space here, is say we wanted to add a new person.
Oh, do you have to do the generate temple command again, or is it just?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'll show you a cool thing in a little while, but I'm just
Oh,
going.
it's kind of tedious. Kind of tedious if you're constantly changing things.
Yes. So the guys at Temple figured out a way to like get around that, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with the basic stuff here at the moment, so that we like get it in our hands, like we learn the muscle memory, you know. And so we're going to put Holden Clark in here, and he is 21. Are you 21? How old are you?
I'm 22, dude.
You're 22. I don't know, dude. Fucking hell.
I'm so old. Yeah, let's bump that MMR number up a little bit. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. And you joined in 2016 because you were 94, 09, 23. Wait, 09, 11.
I have so much power in this made-up world.
Yeah, real. Yeah, so like you say, it's a little bit tedious. You have to generate again, and then we have to rerun again, and then. But now, when we do rerun, I don't know why that's taking so long. Usually, it should be very quick getting back at you, but you can see now the change that we've made to our template comes to the screen, right? Like we can see it in our web browser, right?
Why is your web browser dark mode like that by default or something?
Yeah,
Or
yes. Yeah, I've got a plugin called Dark Reader, and that you should get this because it's amazing. But yeah,
looking it up.
Yeah, it should just look like this.
Get extensions, Dark Reader.
dark reader. It's on every web browser.
I've been using Microsoft Edge for my stuff.
Nice.
I heard some people are saying that Microsoft Edge is cringe, and I think I remember when I first started using it, I really thought there's some cool tools about it, but now I can't remember why I started using it, so I don't know.
Nice. Cool. So I can cut my notes off, which are on my MacBook at the moment. So, okay, cool. So we're just going to mess around for a second. So yeah, now you can see that, like, obviously if we change that by hand, like this HTML template by hand, and re-render it, then we get like whatever we want spat out into the web browser. But obviously this kind of sucks because it's like we have to do those two commands every single time.
Right.
This has a, okay. So actually let's go back to here. So this temple thing has a templating language in it, hence the fucking name.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, just taking a hit of my weed pen for clarity.
Nice.
So right, you can pass. Let's open up the temple documentation again. So one of the I'm just sorry, I'm not stalling because I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to find an example in here from the the stuff that I like learned from.
Yeah, I'm on to you, dude.
Wait 1 second. So basic usage. Yeah, elements within a component. Okay, no attributes. Is it statement? No, expressions, because I want something that returns. Yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. Right, so you can pass anything into a Go temple. You can pass anything into this thing here. It can be your own type. So you can see here, like they've made their own struct called person, and then they're like, and they've called it p, and then in here they're like p.name, and so you can like access fields. The only rule that anything inside this temple thing has is that it has to return a string. So whatever, if you call a value like prefix, has to be a string. If you like do p.name, this value must be a string, right? Or it will fail to compile. When you do temple generate, it will just fuck up. It won't let you do it. And so there are ways, and you're like, okay, isn't that like hugely restrictive? It is, but they give you the access to the string libraries inside of Golang. So if you pass in an integer, you can be like into string, and it'll let you do that. Do you know what I mean? And you can write Go inside of these curly braces. And that's how you access the templating side of the language. Is you use these curly braces, and then whatever is inside is a variable of some sort, is a value, and so let's just do it, and it will make a bunch of sense. So if we say that the title of this page is a string, and the what did we say? You are 1, 2, 3, fourth player. So we'll say the fourth player's name is the fourth player's name, and that's also a string. And then maybe we'll have fourth player NMR, and that's actually an int. And so yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, from our little arguments here, we're going to be like, this is the title. The plugin is pretty rudimentary. It doesn't like do the spacing either side for you, which is fine. And then we're just going to steal this really stupidly long name. I should have done something better, but here now in the body we can be like this, and then in here we can be like And then you're going to have to forgive me because I'm going to have to Google the method to remember. So string to, no, int to string cov. Is it string cov I to A? Yeah, okay. I to A. Why is it always A? I never understand that. But yeah, cool. So we're going to be like is up here, just like a not. Thank you. Go even Vim. So we can be like import string conv string conv. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then notice that the import statements are exactly the same. There's no difference, and I could do the same style thing here where I put it in so like one of these, so that I don't have to keep on like being like import this, import blah 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 blah. But like usually, as I've found doing development in these files, you don't import tons of stuff, so you'll usually end up just doing import and import or whatever. So anyway, shutting my mouth, we want to pinch this guy's code here and be like I to A, like so. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. And yeah, so we've used the title, the player's name, fourth player's MMR. Cool. Yeah, so now you might be thinking, okay, cool. So we just now go back to the main function and start typing our arguments in. But it's just I think this kind of annoys me a little bit. It's a little bit chicken and eggy because the Go code hasn't been generated yet. So you're going to have to generate the Go code with the temple generate like this. And then in a second, yeah, now you'll see the error come up, right? Like this is going to be pissed at you. So what did we say the arguments were? So yeah, when you mouse over it, it'll tell you. So title is hex tech fuck boys. Fuck boys. And then the fourth player is your mom. And then her MMR is again, and this is an int, right? So she's actually going to be our first 6.1k player that we've we've got. Cool. So now that we've regenerated our code and we've passed in this template, cool. So everything worked, and so now going back to our local host again. I'm not sure why it takes such a. Okay, cool. So look, you can see the title of our page has changed to Hex Tech Fuckboys. Your mum is now the fourth player, and she's 6100 MMR. So
that's a really good play, dude. That's really good.
So we just removed the hints of the current message. So cool. So this is kind of badass, right? Because now it means like we can pass anything from like our Go shit into a HTML document, and we haven't had to do very much. I mean, this temple generate thing is a bit laborious, but we're gonna in a second when we kind of smash that like and subscribe button. I'll show you the pro shit. But what is like I think a cool. Okay, actually, let's go and have a look at our objectives and see where we are. Okay, cool. We're done for number one. So we can say that this is a success. Do I get a little tick emoji? Is this... fuck off. Thank you. Is yo! Okay, cool. I'm just going to put...
Whoa, that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. And then, okay, so we can just put these here, and they'll be our placeholders. And now we can be a bit more professional about this and be like, cool, there we are. Okay, cool. So, yeah, crushing it. We are crushing it. Let's just put these other way up here. Cool. Cool. And then let's get this ordered in a nice way. So steps for number 2. Let's just get set up and we'll do a little recap so I can go back. Cool. So, oops, no, it's the wrong screen. Here. So, yeah. What we learned how to do, right, is obviously just set up a very basic project, initialize our main with a function main in it so that we can like just do anything, like, you know, enter our program and start programming some Go. We learned that the HTTP library just has a handler built into it with this handle function, and temples set up to, you know, to kind of marry up with that. And then, yeah, very simply, just one line afterwards, this listen and serve will get you going, and will, you know, you can start hitting your service on whatever port you've described up here. Then, yeah, setting up like a really basic index page. You have these temple style things inside of a .temple file. You write your HTML in here. You hit generate. It's going to create you a Go thing, which you can then, you have a Go object here now, which you can then call and serve your your HTML with. And so, yeah, that's step 1, all done, which feels good. So step number 2, so let's see. So we're not going to do databases at all today. We're going to store the list of players as just as an array, and then yeah, that's going to be it. Like it doesn't, like, we don't need to like add more complexity to that. Like, databases are going to be really important to us as we go forward, but it is another layer of complexity that we don't need to tackle right now. So especially when I do professional development and I'm trying to just prove out an idea, sometimes it becomes very constraining to think about how you're going to store your data as well when you just want to like do some shit. And so this is not just like a baby like playground toy thing that I'm doing. This is actually sometimes how I approach the problem, and it's also how I learned how to do this temple stuff about 6 weeks ago or whatever it was. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to display a list of players. So we're going to make a make player struct to store our player fields. We are, let's see, so what do I want to do? I'm going to make an API for player data. Going to make temple for player table row. And oh, cool. Yeah. Right. Make a request from the HTML web get request from the HTML to retrieve player data to display player table rows. Make a player struct to store the fields. Okay, maybe I'll be a bit more explicit about the second step. Make an array to store multiple players. Make an API for player data. Make a template for the player row. Make a web get request from the HTML to display the table player rows. Cool. Yeah, right. So, as you can see, we're going to be like making a lot of stuff here. Like, there's not a lot of like clicking boxes and like writing paths and stuff. We're going to be writing a fair bit of Go, and then down here, I'm going to start using the star to just, you know, point stuff out when I'm talking instead of the tick. But yeah, so here we're actually going to start writing some HTML. Well, actually, kind of, I guess here and here we'll start writing some HTML. But yeah, I guess I'll switch back to the IDE and just start going for it, because I don't really know what more to say here. But effectively, right, I think a good way to start is, so we said that we wanted to make our player struct, and I think it's a good time to, so a struct is just like a class in Python or whatever.
Yeah.
Except it's much dumber. It doesn't really have any methods or functions or anything on it. All it is just a container for fields, right? Like it isn't any. It doesn't have. You can add functions. You can add receiver methods to a struct. We're not going to be doing that at the moment, but that is like an optional thing that you can do, right? So for now, what we want to be like is you can just make a struct, but we don't want to just make a struct. We want to make a struct with a name, because obviously we want to be like, actually, I'm going to see what the autocomplete is like, because I've not done this before. This might suck, but this might also change my fucking life. So here we go. Name. Okay, cool. So cool. So this, a lot of stuff has just happened here, right? So you tell Go that you want to make a new type, and you want to call it player, and player is a struct, okay? There are other times that you might like wanna, you can use this type command to do other stuff as well. You can be type my string just is a string, but in this instance, this command here, not to like confuse you, like this is how you make a struct. And then to put fields inside of your struct, you just declare them effectively. So you can be like name is a string and age is an int, right? And then let's see. So what did we ask ChatGPT to give us? Okay, so here, like so. Just post this crap in like this. Bada bing. It's going to be a string. I'll go back and fix the capitalization in a second. Actually, no, I'll talk about capitalization in a second, because that's an interesting thing in, and then created at, which is a date, time dot date dot yeah, time dot, what the fuck? Time dot date. No, okay. Excuse me, I'm having a brain fart here. I obviously don't seem to be able to understand how to make a date in this dumb fucking language. Wait. What? Okay. How to add a date as field in a struct. No, I forgot to tell it in Golang. No. Oh, it's time.time? Oh, bleh, that's gross. Fuck you, I hate you. Kill yourself. Cool.
Yep.
So cool. So give this a little format as well. Oops. Whoa, no, thanks. What the fuck? Exit. That was weird. Format. Cool. Cool. Let's do that. So yeah. So in Go, the name of fields, the capitalization of a field, like for either a function, so like func exported function, private function, right? So Go has the concept of privacy, and by that I mean that if you make a capital at the beginning of your thing, like either your field or your function, other packages will be able to see this function and use it. If you make it lowercase, they won't. And the compiler enforces that for you, which is really super duper nice sometimes. And so we've already done that, because notice here I called it index page with a big I, not with a small I. So that means that because this index is a different package to the main package, our main function can import this package and see this function because it's big I. And so that is why I went back and changed all of these to capitals, just because I don't want them to be private. I want everybody to be able to have access to the fields in this player struct. Cool. That's not like mega important right now, but I think it's a important thing to bear in mind with Go as you get better with it and become a stronger programmer and all that sort of stuff. Cool. Right. So now let's pass this complicated struct to our function and let's render it to the screen. So your mum is now a player in Go code, right? Will it let me? Yeah, fill all fields. Cool. So Go land, the IDE, has some really nice features that let you do shit. And she's called Yorina Mommy, and she's old, fam, and she plays for Root Gaming, and her MMR is 2300. Sad, but it's one of the best players that they have at the moment, by a long shot. And then just to save me having to figure out how to do stuff, we're just going to say that she was created when the program started. So do you mind if I get rid of these comments for a second? Is that cool if I just do something like this so that it kind of makes it all a bit more clean on the page?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, so cool. So now we've got some data, and what we want to do is display this data in here. And so the first thing, okay, also there's a really nice feature that I sometimes use, where you can split a screen to your right. And then that means that I don't have to keep on clicking back and forth between these two to figure out what fields are going to be in my player as I like fuck with this template. So we're going to get rid of all of these args. I'm going to be like P is a I always forget. Yeah, it's backwards. Yeah, it's backwards to how I want it to be. So P player. So now we're going to pass in a player to our template. And we don't. Oh no. We're going to pass in a player and title, which is string. We still want our title. I quite like that. Quite like being able to change that by that. So now, okay, so we can be like p.name, p.age, and again, as we discussed from earlier, we want to string cov this because we can't deal with integers inside of here. We can't like have a raw int. The program will not compile. So we need to do that, and then here we need to be like p team, and then we've already given ourselves this. So hold on one second. This is already a string though. I actually don't want this to be a string. wants to be an int. And there's something kind of anal about, no, we're just going to keep this way around, or otherwise, don't worry about that. I have brain worms. Cool. I just want the ints to be together in my struct because it looks nicer. I either want it to be like this or like like this. I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop. Right, cool. P, so yeah, P and R, and we want it to be an int. And then finally, let's just ask ChatGPT for the last thing. How do we do go time to string? Yo. Okay. Whoa, that is sick. Okay, I actually really, really like that. Wait, so layout is the standard layout. Can't I just... Give me one sec. Golang. Let's go read some time format. Let's go read some actual Go doc. Here we go. So if you're a good programmer and you're not like a fucking degen like me that just uses ChatGPT to do like lots of this stuff, like lots of the reading, again, don't think that ChatGPT is actually going to ever be able to do your job for you. You need to ask it like really solid questions and know your shit to like be able to trust the output. But if you're not a degen like me, you will be in here a lot, and you should as a learner also go through the Go standard library. It's really fucking good. Like, it's really well documented, it's really beautiful code, it is written by some of the best programmers that have ever drawn breath. So yeah, get jiggy with it. What we want to find is actually we want to find formats, t.formats. Is that going to give me a limit? No. Here, layout.string. Okay, cool. So, called layout. Okay, const. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's what I was hoping. So, what we want to do. What happens if you pass? Where's ISO 8601? Okay, I think what I want to do, right, is I want to do something a bit like this. So what I don't, okay, so sorry, I'm just to talk through what I'm, what's going on in my head here is I really don't like this this string here, this 2006-0102. Like, why is this a value? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it makes it seem like it's an actual thing that like the programmer should be paying attention to, like why we are using that date specifically. So what I was looking for is to try and find some constants in here that like correctly represent what I want. So I think, one sec, it doesn't have very good autocomplete in there. So if I go time dot, yeah, here we go. What is the one that we like? What's a good time format? I want something with the Zulu in. Yeah, Zulu 7. Yeah, okay. They seem to think that is called RFC 3339, and that is fucking the devil's the devil's work, my friend. I do not. What the fuck? Okay, cool. P. No, P. sorry. Sometimes when I change between I like there's slight differences between my key bindings, and it's really annoying. So we'll see if we can do this one more time. What is the copy paste? Thank fucking god. Okay, cool. Boop. Okay, cool. So now actually, no, we're going to leave it compiling. Let's just double check that everything is that we want. So we've passed all of our ints into things that convert them to strings. This apparently is how you turn a date into a string of the particular value that I want it to. So I'm hoping that now when we go here, I'm also hoping at one point we get an error so I can show you what it looks like when I fuck up and the temple generate doesn't work and like how to debug that. But at the moment, I'm just way too fucking good and we don't have any bugs, you know? Am I going to, by the way, sorry, I have been talking for quite a while. Is it all going in? How are you feeling? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay.
Just yeah, I'm kind of like working alongside you, and I've fallen behind a little bit, but
Okay. Okay.
I think
Well,
I'm doing good.
okay. Cool. Cool. Well, let's, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then so the final thing in here, I want to be like title is hex tech mom lavas to change it up a little bit. So cool. So do you want me to just kind of rehash what I did, like go back over what I just did?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Let me check it out. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So let me get rid of the split so that we're just looking at one thing at a time. So before we did all of this stuff to this index page function, we were passing some strings and some integers, right? What we did is we created a struct called player to store all of our fields in that we care about, so like name and age and team and all that stuff. Then we
Mm-hmm.
created an instance of this player struct called your mum, and filled up the values inside of it. So it has a name and an age and a team and all that sort of stuff. Then
Yeah, yeah.
we modified our template here, our temple function for our index page, so that we can pass the title to it, and now our new player struct. And then down here, we use the value from our, well, actually, sorry, so to be complete, we use our title here as we were doing before. We made all of these changes. But now down here, we are passing the values from our struct into our HTML by just calling either the attributes on our struct or passing them into values that convert them into strings.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
that's
like it.
That's it. So now, hopefully, given... Oh, yes. And then every time that you make a change to your template, you're going to run this temple generate. And given that this all... Undefined player. Where's that? Wait. Oh, because I've got to... Wait. How do I... Hold on one sec. How do I... Do I just import main? Or do I get a... One sec. Because it's going to be hex tech challenge slash main. This might complain about a circular import. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I've got to go and generate the code again, because otherwise it don't do anything cool. Okay. I've done this a million times. Just let me go and check my notes about how I get that import correct. I might have to put the player in. We're going to put the player in its own package anyway, so I might have to do that to get the structure to work correctly. But yeah, just give me a second. This window. Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, whatever. Like, just for now, like, to save, like, we're gonna do something like this anyway. I'd like. Wait, hold on. Actually, maybe this can tell me how I HTMX. Wait, I want to know. Yeah, I should be able to. Okay, tell you what. How about we do? Okay. Just want to try one more thing. I want to be like new Go file, simple application. Oh, called fuck. No, that is index. I want to player. No, I want to be like, no, import HTMX main. Interesting. No, so you can't call the main package from a sub thing. That kind of makes sense. But okay, wait. I just want to learn something about Go myself. So let's do that. I'm going to be like directory called player. It's just about how like Go code organizes itself. So Go is just called player. It's an empty file. Cool. And then main in here we want to be like fuck you like this. And in here this go oops. Cool. Okay. That's like that. Then here I'm gonna be like kill this. And I'm gonna be like import. Okay. Oh, is it because it now wants to be called player.player? Okay. Introduce local variable. Okay, cool. Okay. That makes sense. That's good. So I'm pretty certain to fix the problem that we just had, I want to do this and this. I think it's like this. Cool. Sorry, I will run back over exactly everything what's happening in just 1 second. I just need to. Cool. Sec. Just make sure that I did the right stuff. Yeah, baby, let's fucking go. Okay. Cool. So, what I needed to change there is that Go programs are trees. in that it's pretty impossible, I think, to refer to the main package because it's the top of the tree, right? Like it's the very like root of your program. So to be inside like a submodule and then try to refer to something that's above it is difficult. But modules on the same level can include each other. So that is what I was fixing there. Was I made a module for our player code to go into, and then now in our index.temple file here, we can import our player object, and it knows how to use it. It knows what to do.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, I was just organizing. So this player struct that we created that was in main is now just in a file on its own called player.go in a submodule. Cool. Yeah, cool. So nice. Let's have a look at our list of shit that we just did. So we made a player struct to store our player fields in. Yeah, we haven't made an array of that yet. So cool. Nice. Let me just stand up, stretch my legs because I've been coding for like probably. Whoa, I've been coding for like 2 hours now. That's not too bad. Let me clean my brain down a little bit. Okay. So, yeah, making an array in Go is pretty straightforward. It's just like making it in C or any of the other like slightly more low-level languages. You just put the little like square brackets in front of it. So let's say if our players, I think you just do like this, right? No. Yeah, if our players is a thing of player. Cool. Nice. So awesome. Now, what you can do is, sorry.
I see your player file, the player.go.
Sorry.
Player.go file.
Yeah,
Player.
yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, cool. It just looks like this.
Okay.
Well, actually, at this point, if you want to, I can. I think it's good for you to follow along at the moment, but I think at the end of the session, I'll push this to Git, and then we can start working from the same code base.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm not going to do that now because I think it's a good idea that you like follow with and like move your hands around the problem because I think that is a good way to learn. Cool.
True.
Yeah, so right. So yeah, cool. So we're just gonna make the we've made
Can I
it.
see your
Yeah.
Can I see your temple
My index.
file? Yeah, the index.
Yeah, sure. Do you just want the
Player.
do you want
Oh, I
the
see.
do you want the
I
whole
see what I did.
yeah, do you just want me to copy and
Let me
paste you
just test.
all the code?
I think I found the error. Oh, I
Okay.
gotta. 1 second. Give me
Yeah, yeah.
2 seconds. I'll let you
Yeah.
know.
No. This is
I,
actually great because it gives me a second to like stretch my legs and stuff. So
Interesting. It's still. I have the undefined player thing that you had earlier.
okay. Do you want to stream your code? And I think maybe we can probably figure. Are you streaming
Yeah.
code?
I will now.
Okay. Cool.
You see it here.
Yeah.
So
Did you? Oh
this is the
yes.
change I just made.
You need to add the import statement at the top. See where you have import string above. You need to
Oh,
be import. Then you would
import
be
play.
what?
What's Billy's
Yeah. Whatever your
Bill's?
Bill's anus slash yeah player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big. Okay, cool.
That's
Now
just
generate. Yeah, cool. And then run. There you go.
nice. There we go. I mean, it's an import statement.
Cool.
I got
Awesome.
two of you here, and one's 1,000 MMR higher than the other, and one $3 million more dollars. Wow,
Nice.
that's what 1K MMR gapful gets you these days.
Nice. Cool. Okay, good. Okay, so I think now things are going to get. Now we're going to whack things up a little bit of a slight notch. What I want to do is can I? One second. What is the shorthand for populating an array of structs in Golang? Directly in the array literal. Oh, beautiful. Okay, cool. This is exactly the shit that I like. They do like. Everybody shits on Go for being quite like verbose, but sometimes they do some shit that like makes me really fucking happy. And this style of doing array initialization, I think, is really cool. So you can, and I'll show you what I mean in just 1 second. So let me just get this set up so it players. So you see that. You see that here when I declare this struct, I have to tell the compiler like it's a player.player open brackets like blah. Like when you make a list of structs, you can be like one time player.player and then you just pass in curly braces with the arguments and it just like fucking it like understands what you mean. So that is it's pretty. Wait, it's pretty when you. I'm going to switch to my MacBook in a second. I swear to God. Okay, P. I'm going to have to just solidly use Vim bindings to. Okay. So we're just going to set this to nil for a second. Okay, let's just set this to player of that. Watch me forget that. Why is that complaining? Need a trailing comma. Okay. That's one stylistic choice that I don't like about Golang, to be very honest with you. Cool. So we're just going to make ourselves 3 players. One is called Gareth Bellin Smeller, and Frederico gone real. It's on Fartwheel Gaming. Cool. And he's a literal god with more MMR than entire sections of the ladder. Cool. So, yeah. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, we don't need to. This is a perfectly valid declaration on its own. So, right. Now.
Nice names.
Yeah. I don't like Gonorrheal. Wait, no. Let's get this Frederico.
Yeah, he's a part of a really good team also.
yeah, he plays for PSG Eindhoven. You know, he's crazy.
It's 4.5 million MMR.
Yeah,
This guy is. He's not. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Oh, boy.
Cool. So the thing that's like the new thing that we're going to do, right? Like, is we want to go back to our index page here, right? And so, how to declare a table in HTML, you use the table tag, and then you say t-head. This is the header. Like that's this stuff, right? Like that's the head of your table. That's your field names, and then t-body is like all these values here, right? Pretty straightforward. What we've done is we've passed in one struct, and we've taken the fields from those one structs and put it into one row in a table, which is nice, like it's cool, but it's not really very useful, right? Like we want to be able to control this whole table.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to drive this table based on data, you know, because like our eventual product that we're going to build is going to get stuff from a an API, and then it's going to like stick it in a database somewhere, and then that database is going to like serve data to that. So we need to be able to do that like mechanism. So this, let's just go back to our goals and just make sure that we're being like thorough about everything. So yeah, we've made an array to store multiple players, and so I've kind of given the game away by tabbing back in, because what I was going to say is, how do you think we get this player data to here?
We're gonna do it.
Or give me some options. How might you pass a list of players to this template? Like, what might you want to do?
Dude, I have no idea. We can't just pass the whole array through the tempo function, can we? And then, but then I think we run into a similar problem to where we're at now, where we want to be able to just like the whole.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we're gonna do some sort of API thing later, but I don't know if that's what the use right now. I don't know. This is tough for me.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. Yeah, this is it was supposed to be kind of like a tough question, but the good thing is you kind of hit on the two things that we could do. My headphones keep on doing strange things, and like with my noise cancelling. But okay, so you said.
Like we could just we could just pass the whole array as the parameter.
Yeah.
Right.
So
then
yeah.
We have to set it up the same way we're setting it up now. We run into the same problem we are already running into, aren't we? If we do it that way.
Yes. So
Yeah.
kind of like we can do for loops inside of the template. So that's one way of doing things. The other one that you said is have an API to serve data. And they're both good answers. We're going to do two, but I'll show you one just for a second, just so that you know that you can do this, right? So in Temple, you can use for loops, and we could update our code to. And actually, fuck it. I've never done. No, I'm going to keep things straightforward, but we could do this now.
Okay.
And fuck it, let's do this now. I am curious. I'm curious as to how this feels to do. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all of the other rows in the body, and just so that you know that there's no. Can I close this window? Good. Yeah, I'll close this window as well. Cool. So that you know there's. No, like tricks up my sleeve or whatever. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, because now I want to be like players. Is an P. And what you can do, right, apparently, is do a normal for loop inside of code. Just give me 1 second. Just want to remember. Yeah, so it's like that. Okay, table row. So we want to be like here. We want to be like but. Cool. And so then I think we kind of call this P. Now this is called players because we'll be able to have. So for P and players like this. Generate this again. Didn't get any errors. Cannot use. That's funny. Is it because it's just a sized array? What about if I just do this? Does that make it work? What? How is a sized array different from an array? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Cool. I don't even want to know why that works. Yeah, cool. Nice. So that does work, right? So if we wanted to, like, we could continue forever just adding arguments to this template, right? Like, we could be like, I don't know, like challenges, and then that could be like another array of shit, and like, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we keep on going and going. But this is super cool because, like, now we can be like, instead of having to like add more HTML or do anything like that, we can be like, oh, so, sometimes this fucking this IDE gets into like a mode where it like doesn't like doing the text input in the way that I like doing the text input. So sorry that I'm fuck off. There we go, much better. Sorry about this. Holden clock, hold me clock, fuck Boington. He's on BDX. 21. And it's got even more MMR.
Do you say 21 again?
Yeah, I can make you 21 again, yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow, that takes so long. It takes really long time to load for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but usually it's super duper quick. But yeah, cool. So yeah, now we're there we go. Yeah, cool. So we added you, and you know, and so yeah. So now we're like data driven, right? Like we're putting data into. You know, this array of players is going to be replaced with a database at some point in the future. Just to, like, sorry to spoil the surprise, but this is what we're doing, you know?
We're working up to it.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I don't particularly like this. And I tell you why. Because we're going to need to be able to do stuff. And if we go and have a look here, right, so we pass the whole array of players to the function. What this does, right, so now all the data can be displayed. But I think the outstanding questions is how do we take user input let's just say and react to it. CRUD, for example. Do you know what CRUD means?
Read, remove, update, delete.
Yeah, create, read, update, delete.
Read.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Dude, I got a whole fucking degree and I don't know what the R stands for in CRUD, man.
Sorry, bro. You need to educate yourself right now. That's,
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing else I can do. It's not like I have a choice. There's no free will here.
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah.
Oh, I knew it's wrong too. Like remove and delete. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, um, yeah. So the problem is, right, is that we like, how do we take user input and react to it? Like, we could do some,
I see.
yeah, we
Because
could
what
do
we
some.
can do is only through putting it in the main file. But we need people on the product to be able to input data and
Yeah,
show it up.
yeah, create it, read it, update it and delete it, right? Like this is the core of like what a web server does. Like when you go to think about like Facebook or something, right? Like you create a post and then your friends read it, and then like maybe you made a typing error, so you need to be able to update that, and like say you put a picture of your dick in it by accident, you need to like delete it. Like all those things
I hate when
are
that happens, dude.
yeah, it's the worst, man.
That's the worst. Happens to
They,
me like once every week, man. I
yeah,
can't believe it.
they need to fix that shit, man. It's crazy that they even let you like upload such close-up pictures of your dong, you know. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so effectively, right? The reason why the world has kind of moved towards this API style of thing is that you kind of have this flexibility where if you can create some way for your, how do I put this, like for your users to interact, then you can like present this way of interacting with your data from your backend, and that's essentially what an API is, right? I think we could probably, sorry, so there's like a third thing that we could do is we could have an API, and we could render the stuff in and we could pass the whole player, sorry, brain farting for a second there, to render function, and oh yeah, so let me just fill in these bullet points so it's again just a bit more visual and real. Allows user interaction. Cool. So the thing is though, right, is that I guess like, okay, problem with this is each time we change something, we re-render the entire array of player like this, right? Of players, you know? So what solution or whatever. Sorry, like we're not going to keep this note around for long anyway, but like, so what happens is some HTML libraries let you do partial updates, which keeps things fast. And so getting back to here, so let's do this, right? So we're going to say X like this, and then X like this.
Yeah.
And then yeah, to make this again, just to make this like stick a little bit more, so we do like two. Have an API and re-render whole each action, which keeps things fast. Okay, cool. And then so finally what we're actually going to do, right, like the final solution, and sorry to quote Hitler there, but the final the actual correct solution, and kind of this is like a very key part of how our little stack is going to work, is that we're going to have an API to serve data. Then we are going to, how do I put this? Return partials of HTML to render. based on the API. Cool. So A, this allows you to have user interaction, allows you to only update stuff you need. Pro/con, because it might get a little bit messy as we get going along, allows you to to compartmentalize your HTML pieces into components. Cool. Right. Because the thing that makes C good is that if we were to include all of the HTML that we want for the incredibly complex web page that we're going to end up building, right? Like this document's going to be like thousands of lines long, right? Like, and that's super hard to comprehend. Like, I don't care. Like, some people are like amazing at reading really long files. I fucking suck at it, and I really it fatigues me. Yeah, I enjoy having fragments like a class. Do you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy the concept of that because it encapsulates together functions and methods that refer to a topic or a subject, right? And yeah, similarly, you can think of these partials as like a kind of a class of HTML, right? Like a partial is equal to a fragment of HTML that will get inserted in our document to represent some data we have stored in the back end. Cool. Do you have any questions about the stuff that we just discussed?
Nope. Seems like 3 is a pretty good option.
Cool.
Let's do that.
Cool.
As
Cool.
the
Okay.
executive here, I'm gonna say that one's approved.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and I think once we get to the end of number 2, I might take a break and like want to play some video games or something, because we've been chugging for a few hours now. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Also, while we're in this little in-between state, on my
yeah,
project,
yeah. Show me.
I made a player name Reasticles, and
Yeah.
they're on
Team
team
balls.
balls.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
That's all I wanted to tell you.
Hey,
Okay, now
puppy.
let's get to it.
Yeah, it's a good puppy. Oh, you nice pup. Yeah, you don't need another poo, do you? Have you got diarrheas? Have you got the rear? How you got so much rear?
Yeah, I do, man. It's
What's going
bad.
on? What's going on with the hacking rear? With the Nelsons, huh? Good boy. Okay, you nice boy. All right. No, don't eat my tissue, please. Nice boy. Okay, cool. So, okay. Yeah, we've been going for quite a while, and so I appreciate I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
I'm learning a lot, dude. I'm actually gonna be legit good at this stuff.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna make
No,
that's gonna be awesome.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
So what we're gonna do is okay. So I need to structure my thoughts for a second, because otherwise we're gonna spend 10 seconds just moving our mouth around and our fingers around and not actually doing anything of value. Okay, cool. We need this to be out from here. So we're gonna pretend. Oh, that's P.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna var players. So var players is now our database, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Invalid composite literal. Oh yeah, because I don't need to give it a package name anymore because it's in the actual package that I want it to be in. And because I'm not a heathen. Okay, just because I'm it's fucking with my copy and paste. Sorry, I know you've seen me probably like do this a couple of times, and you're probably like, "What the fuck?" Like, why
Yeah,
can't
well,
I?
your keys are different, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like
But like,
playing League of Legends and you got Flash and Smite on different hotkeys. Like, stuff's gonna fucking. You know what one of my favorite League of Legends pranks is? Like, I saw it was like a story about like some pro gamers like in the team house. Like, one of them, while the other pro was like away from the house, he went on his setup and changed the summer spells so that
nice.
the left one would be on F and the right one would be on D or something. And then he comes back and he goes to smite his first game and he just flashes. That's pretty good, you know.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Frederico.
Cool. So the yeah, we're going to remove this, and I'm gonna show you. Nelson, you can't eat another shit. We literally went out like an hour ago, dude.
Dude,
Like, there's
is he okay?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's got like diarrhea or something, but like I've got a blister on my foot as well, and I really just don't want to be like fucking walking up the road the whole fucking time. It's like I've taken him out like 4 times today. Seriously, dude, just give me a break. Okay, good. Cool. All right. So, right. Um, this is going to be our first slightly advanced piece of HTML that we do, and oh, hello.
Nia just left. That was,
Oh,
you
she's
know,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
Nia's been deafened for a pretty long time.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, he's back. He was watching. He just got AFK kicked. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, uh, we've seen how we can drive interaction from the back end, right? Like we can see that we can like pass in a list of data, and then we can use our templating language here to take that list of data and just make as many rows in the table that we want, right? So this has developed from being like a fairly static HTML page with just some shit in it to like having the ability to being pretty dynamic, because let's just imagine that we didn't have this as code and this is actually in a database somewhere, right? Like, it would mean that we wouldn't need to keep on restarting our program every single time that we make a change to this. We would just add a new row in our database, and then we would refresh our page and that row would exist. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we have a fully kind of dynamic thing going on here. So that's cool, but I feel that it ends up being kind of unwieldy, and also for the other reasons of things that we just discussed. I think the cleaner and better way of doing things is having the ability to drive the interaction with your API from your HTML. And so how do you do that? Let's go, and we'll have like a really short, because I know that like we're both probably a little bit fatigued right now. This is HTMX is basically the bit that this is where we're going. This is what I'm about to like talk about. But if we yeah, cool. So traditionally, from 1990s onwards, we had HTML and CSS.
Yeah.
Like CSS to 1 and 2, HTML 1 to 4. Around about 1995 or 6, we realized that users want to interact with web stuff, and so in 1996, JavaScript was like interesting history. Go read about how it fucked the web up. JavaScript was adopted by Netscape, Mozilla now.
Okay.
Cool. And so from 1996 plus. Okay. Sorry. In 1994, we realized that from HTML, we need to get data to be able to use hyperlinks, right? Like, you know what I mean. So, like, for example, if you go like if you put an anchor tag in, yeah, you can be like href equals, google.com. Google.com, yeah, like, and then you say suck my balls, and then you close your anchor tag like this, right? Like, so now if you put this in the let's just do it, right? Let's just do it. That's what I love about having an actual web server like running and like set up, because you just do it, you don't have to like be like, imagine this, like you just can, so look, we'll put this in, and then we'll just rerun. Oh, whoops. Don't know why that's complaining. What's that complaining?
You gotta generate the file again?
Yeah, one sec. I just... Will you let me pass a nil as an array? Okay, that's good. Oh, it's going to be mad. Oh. Let's just see. This might be super duper mad. It hopefully just gives me an empty table. That would be good. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, cool. So, here we are. Okay, cool. So, for the internet to work good, you need to be able to do this, right? Or, you need to be able to like click a link. I got the link fucked up here because it probably needs the HTTP in it or whatever. But like this anchor tag does a href, so it knows how to get this page called google.com, right? Like what it's doing in my thing up here is it's like trying to go to, wait, yeah. Don't know why that link is being the way that it is. There we go. Okay, fuck. That's so annoying. So, yeah, if you don't add the thing. So, yeah, so basically, right, HTML, there's no JavaScript or anything. There's no, like, shit going on. Just built into the HTML standard is that, like, it knows how to get another web page and, like, display it to you, right?
Yeah.
But like, nothing else basically can happen. So, we kind of start adding JavaScript to do things like move elements of HTML around on the page. Like maybe when you see like a cool looking drop down or whatever, yeah, like for example, when you open this thing, like when you open this would be JavaScript that would be doing this. This is like when you click this button,
Yeah.
it's bringing into view this text box, right? Which will be like in a div tag somewhere in your HTML. So to do that, you write a bunch of JavaScript that you then import in your head here, and then it gets kind of complicated because now you're maintaining another file that you've got, and you've got another language as well, right? Like you've got to know JavaScript to do stuff. So what HTMX does, right, is it just adds more stuff to the HTML standard that I was talking about. So what if it wasn't just that you could like href stuff, but you could also post, and you could also decide what to do with the return value from your backend. And so the the main guy who runs HTMX is a fucking memer, and I love him. He's super funny. But he's also very pointed about why he did this. And if you want to like read this book, I would highly recommend it because he does like a good job of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
telling.
Link me the book.
Yeah. So Hypermeter Systems.
I've been really into reading lately. I read a lot.
Nice. I think you can get
It's
this.
been like the last week or two, I guess. I've read a book and a half, so that's
Nice, dude.
something. Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Um,
just like fiction, though. I know. I
yeah.
like
No,
it.
that's great. I think honestly, I don't read enough, and fiction is really good for your brain. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, it makes me happy. It's
Yeah,
it's better than watching YouTube. That's for sure. At least for me.
yeah,
Because what I tend to watch on YouTube is not very educational stuff.
yeah. I come and go. Like sometimes I watch pretty educational stuff, and sometimes I kind of don't. Um, so yeah. Um, cool. Okay. Let's knock this last bit out, yeah, and let's just get this done, and then I'm gonna like just probably try and take Nelson out for one more short walk, and then we can play some League if you want to.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it. So
Cool.
what are we doing now?
Right.
What's the objective here?
So yeah, objectives. Good point. So yeah, fuck this page. Don't save. We'll keep that one around. Here we're gonna make a quick API which just allows us to serve the data, and then we're gonna make a like a template, one of these, that this
You
partial
want
thing
to
that I
just
was. Yeah.
how long do you think this will take us to do?
Um.
Because we could just do this tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay. I actually like
If
that.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
time.
I
Because
think.
I feel like we should just break it up into some more blocks since we've been on this for uh who knows how long, right? 2 hours plus.
Yeah, and I think I very much believe that you can't learn for more than like an hour and 10 minutes in one sitting. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
like not you, but like one can't. You know. Um, so
'Cause I feel like for me a lot of this stuff was like pretty new.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
just like
And
the big macro concepts of like how Go's working and uh yeah, yeah, I guess yeah. I don't feel like we went over anything too advanced, but it's good just for me to like I'll wake up tomorrow, look at the notes and stuff, and be ready for the like next step, right?